Hi everybody, welcome back to Ultramad Glen. If you've clicked on this video because you are wondering to yourself, oh my god, how long am I going to sleep during this 200-mile race that I've just signed up for? I know I have a couple of athletes that are training with me that are thinking the exact same thing, so I thought I'd put this little video together to hopefully give somebody a little bit of an idea what they can plan in and what they should be doing. So first off, what you should do is think about the kind of time that you're going to be running the race. Think about the terrain, figure out how many sleep stations there is in the race, figure out whether or not you want to use them, and come up with a plan for sleeping. Now, I'm going to get into how long I slept in my last race very shortly. That's going to be coming up, but just because that worked for me doesn't mean it'll work for everybody. It's certainly to do with more on how you're training and how you're used to running the race. And if you talk to people, you'll get a wide range of anything from 5 hours for the whole race till 15 minutes for the whole race. It can vary that much. So the plan's just to kind of explain what worked for me, what I've done in the past couple of races, and then obviously you can make your own decision and hopefully come up with a plan for it. So as I say, 2019, my first 200-mile race, I had penciled in half an hour breaks for the first couple of nights, and then an hour break for the next couple of nights. I think in total it ended up going till close to 5.5 to 6 hours for the whole race that I was planning on doing the sleep, which was a good plan for my first race. I thought, be sensible, know what to run, give the body a chance to recover on that hour off. So that's what I went with. Second year, 2020, my plan was a little bit different in terms of I had penciled in 2 half-hour sleeps. That was it. Nothing on the first night. Only on the second night, because I found from the previous year that I wasn't fit to just lie down and go to sleep on the first night. I really was, whether it was the hype of the race, whether it was the pain I was in, I don't know what it was, but I found it very hard to just sleep that first night, and I felt to myself that it was wasted time just sitting there. Now, I tried to convince myself that okay, maybe it wasn't wasted time, the body probably needed that time to recover, and that I had done the right thing. Look, it got me to the end of the race. What I will say is, if you are penciling in a lot of sleep, be very mindful of your cut-off times and how close you're going to be to the cut-off times, if that's the plan on just finishing it, which for the first race is certainly a good plan. So that's kind of how I lay down on the first year. Couldn't sleep on day 1, tried it again on day 2, slept a little bit better. Because I hadn't slept on day 1, I thought, oh, I need to sleep a little bit longer. Again, wasn't the case. I just lay there longer, and what I noticed was it wasn't until day 3 that I actually kicked in and was out for a light and had a good sleep where somebody woke me up and I thought, wow, I slept. So 2020, my plan was no sleep the first night, a provisional half an hour sleep the second, depending on how tired I was at the time. I wasn't going to force myself to sleep. I was going to lie there. I was going to see what happened. If I was feeling really tired, I would stop for that half an hour sleep. If I wasn't, I would keep moving, and that's kind of the way it rolled out. It was pretty much halfway through day 3, whenever I had my halfway through day 2, sorry, whenever I had my first 30-minute sleep, it had just got to the point where I was so tired I couldn't keep moving. I was starting to make silly decisions. Concentration was bad, and I suppose they're the signs that you want to be looking out for. So I decided to have that half an hour. Then at that point, later in day 2, whenever we were probably about 220k in, other people were deciding to lie down, have a sleep. I decided no, I was going to keep going. Probably the wrong decision looking back. I should have had half an hour, because in my sleep deprivation I ended up kayaking out into a lake that we were to cross, a river that we were to cross, and coming back to the same point I had started from. Now I'm quite confident it was dark, but I'm quite confident if I had had some sleep and was thinking better or clear, I would have realised that I was back at the start that I just started from. Now, night in the middle of the bush, not being able to see much just with a head torch, these things can happen. But it probably added an extra hour, an hour and a half to my race by the time I got out of the kayak and started to run about 5k in the wrong direction. So be wary, and thanks to the 2 runners that found me and turned me around. But the point was I was still fit to move. My decision making was just slightly wrong, so with hindsight maybe that half an hour sleep earlier would have helped. But I pushed on. After I got to the next aid station I realised that I did need to sleep. Had the other half an hour and again lay down, went out for the light, had a good quality sleep for a 200-mile race, of course. Then I pushed on during the race and had 2 more 10-minute dirt naps, kind of staggered over the next 24 hours, and a 5-minute one at the end, just again where I was just couldn't go. I got to the point where I said to my pacer, I'm really sorry, but I gotta curl up here on this rock and go to sleep. So I will do a video on kind of dirt naps and how effective they can be next after this one, and I will link to it at the end of this video, so if you're interested, keep an eye out for that. But before I can go on, obviously if you have got something from this video, please hit the like button. If you haven't already subscribed and you're one of them 50% that's out there that hasn't, you're missing out. Hit the subscribe button. Does wonders for the channel in order so other people can find the content and get some information out of it. So please subscribe if you're a regular watcher. So for me in total, I slept 2020 I slept an hour and 50 minutes, which again worked for me on the race. It's not to say that 200 or 150 minutes is your number. You might need 2.5 hours, you might need 5 hours, whatever the case is. You maybe have a different race strategy. All I'm saying is that's what worked really well for me, and the reasons it worked really well for me was, one, my race was a hell of a lot quicker, so I wasn't running as long, or I wasn't out there as long. 2, I found that my body just didn't seize up enough. I certainly wouldn't recommend any more than a 45-minute sleep at any one point, because that way your body is starting to really cool down. It really is starting to kick in. To me, half an hour is probably the max that I wanted to do, although one of the times I woke up I was like, oh, just let me sleep. 15 minutes is a sweet spot. You just get in, you start getting that little bit of recovery. It works really well. The 5 and 10 minute dirt naps, really effective for just resetting and getting to sleep, or getting me moving again. So I was really happy with the way my sleep plan went. in 2010. I had previously done a video on sleep deprivation, and I'll link to that above, and it was talking about before the 2019 or 20 race, talking about my 2019 and the changes that I was going to make for the race, so you can check that out. It'll give you a before thought and an afterthought. But I kind of got a little bit of stick on the forums from a couple of people saying that you can't train yourself to be sleep deprived. Now that might be the case. Sleep deprivation eventually kicks in. They reckon 5 days without sleep and the body can go into some serious shutdown where it shuts down organs and starts doing damage. So, but that wasn't what I was getting at. What I was getting at was the more that you put yourself in that sleep deprived situation, the better you become at dealing with it. You maybe eventually get still deep sleep deprived, but instead of day 1, it's maybe day 2, day 3. So what I used to do was, again, go out that evening runs late at night, 5 o'clock, or at kind of 10 o'clock whenever the family's going to bed, run till the following morning, take the time off. Really worked well for me, guys. Also a good way of breaking up your training so that you're not running huge long days either. So look, as usual, I'm back into civilization. As usual, really hope you've got something from this video, and your training's going really well. Any comments, please just leave them below. Any questions on kind of sleep during the 200 miler that I mightn't have covered, please just sing out on whether it's a private message on one of my accounts or whether it's a comment in the video below. And thanks for watching.